What is up, guys? Welcome back to the second channel. Hope you guys are ready for an awesome video today, because over here to my right, your left, is my Type R PC. You guys have watched this computer be built from the square one. My friend Michael and I tag teamed this because I had never built a PC before, and even now I still don't trust myself working on it. Outside of one thing, which I'll get into in a minute, but I have done something that is incredible. I've been working at my new job since April, and I've been saving as much as I can, even with repairing my truck after its catastrophic transmission failure and fire and all that good stuff. I saved up because there was two things I wanted for my computer that were just always kind of dreams for me. And going into core reporting, I figured it was time to overbuild it. I had money saved up for this project, and I figured it was time. I figured it was time to pull the trigger on this and create the baddest PC I can use for not only gaming, but also video production, core reporting school, and work. So I went to my local micro center, and I only went in with intentions to buy one thing, and I wound up buying two because they just happened to have it. Let's start off with the main reason I went in, and that is my CPU upgrade. So if you guys watched my previous update video, I talked a little bit about what I was doing in terms of CPU upgrades. Sticking with Ryzen, doing some BIOS updates and stuff like that, because I went out and got this. This is a Ryzen 9 5950X. This is currently the baddest of the Ryzen. A 5950X is a 16-core max boost clock of 4.9 gigahertz. Meaning this computer is now going to be able to run insanely fast. It's going to have 10 extra cores, because right now I'm running a Ryzen 5 3600, so it's a 6-core processor. This demolishes it in every way, and I'm really excited to run this, because 5th gen Ryzen is the best Ryzen generation yet, and that's what they said about 3rd gen, and so I'm really excited to bump up to a 5000 series processor. I've already done the BIOS flash because I'm running a B450 motherboard. We had to do the BIOS flash to update it to run Ryzen 5000, which was nerve-wracking because I've never done anything like it before, but it went just fine, and it's been done. But that brings me on to the thing that I didn't expect to buy, that I wound up buying anyway, because they had one and I had the money for it, and I said screw it. So a lot of you guys know I've been hunting through the graphics card market for a long while now, and I have been just waiting for the market to die back down, and unfortunately it looks like that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. And I originally had zero intentions of buying this part, but after doing a lot of research about productivity and how computers handle that kind of stuff, and reading more about Ryzen and how it works, I found out that having an upgraded GPU is also something important when it comes to productivity. Having a really good CPU-GPU combo was going to really help you in the productive space. And while I wish I could have gotten a 3090, unfortunately my local micro center where I bought both of these from didn't quite have great prices on the 3090. I mean, 3090s they had for I think $2,100. And if I had that kind of money, I would have totally done it, just because I love the 3090, and it would have been so cool to have a 3090. But unfortunately, I'm not that rich. So what I wound up going with instead was this RTX 3060 Ti. I have been so excited to get my hands on a 30 series card, and they happen to have just one 3060 Ti left. And I originally, when they first announced all the 30 series cards, they didn't announce the 3060 and the 3060 Ti until later. I had every intentions on buying a 3070, and the fact that my local micro center had a couple, they had pretty much everything but the 3060 Ti. Actually, this was the last one they actually had. They had 3070s, 3080s, and they had a few 3090s, but the 3060 Ti was the one I had my heart set on after it came out, and I was really dead set on a 3070 because of its performance being comparable to a 2080. This, of course, is comparable to a 2070 Super, which is why I went with a 3060 Ti. This was the only one they had left, and it was on a holding shelf, so someone else had already come in and was like, hey, I want that, hold it for me. So the story goes, so I asked, their website showed they had 4 in stock, so I was like, hey, your website says y'all have 4 3060 Ti's in stock. I can't find them. Am I missing them, or are they not here? This is something that's happened before. I've gone somewhere and the website has showed one thing, but they don't actually have it in person because the website hasn't been updated. And so they went and looked, and sure enough, they found this exact one sitting on a holding shelf. And they're like, okay, well, someone's already got it on a hold shelf, so we'll wait and see on that. I'll find out how long it's been there. Because obviously they're going to have requirements. You know, they don't want to have it on a hold shelf too long because, you know, if that person never shows up, it's not going to get sold. So about 15 minutes later, the guy comes back and he's like, it's been there for 45 minutes, it's yours. And so I originally intended to shop around a while longer, but I didn't want the same thing happening to me. Someone else being, oh yeah, I want the 3060 Ti. They're like, oh, it's already on the hold shelf for someone else. So I immediately went and checked out. I was like, you know, I want to make sure I got these things. And so as much as I wanted to stay and look around, because I love Micro Center, it's one of my favorite stores, I was like, let's just go. And so I went in there and paid for both of them. Believe it or not, market value right now on Newegg and eBay and all that stuff, 3060 Ti's tend to hover around $800. I got this one for $629. So considerably below market value. What these are going for on eBay with scalpers, you know, doing their douchebaggery, and going through places like Newegg. And so I'm getting this for considerably cheaper than I had originally intended to spend, which was great because I mean, grand total came out of $1,400, and that was a lot for me. Because for some reason, 5950Xs have dropped. Like, these were $900 when they first came out. I got this one for $719. But anyway, let's talk about today's video. I've already actually got the 3060 in. I could not wait. I got home and I slapped that sucker right in. I took my 580 out. Michael is on his way here as we speak, and we are going to be tag teaming installing the Ryzen 9 5950X. Because again, I don't trust myself. And we're going to see what this thing does right away. And I'm really excited to see how this thing works. But anyway, guys, let's wait till Michael shows up. We'll have some fun today, and this computer's about to be the fastest it's ever been, and probably will ever be. See you guys in a minute.
I thought you were recording already.
I was making goofy faces.
And I bent the pen too. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, look at how I was going to cry. Alright, so we got the cooler off of it. We've got the Ryzen 5 out, wherever it is. There it is.
Right there.
And there is our Ryzen 9 with a little sticker. Oh.
Sorry. That's nice.
Does it feel heavier? No?
I don't know.
I was curious if it would because, you know, 10 extra cores.
Kind of. Probably the same thing. They just activated it on this one. But that application was almost mint.
No, that was you who did it.
So.
It's about to be you doing it again.
You wanna bet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Careful, Michael. Oh, that's a $720 CPU.
How much?
$720.
That's it?
Yeah. Did you get the right spot?
No, sir.
Oh.
I made sure I bent all of the pins when I pushed that down.
I wonder if we can actually push it to 4.9 gigahertz on this computer, or if it would just explode.
Depends on how good your motherboard is.
It's a B450. It's really not that good.
Yeah, I wouldn't overclock it. Power delivery is probably not very good.
Like, I asked too about the power supply because I was concerned.
What'd they say?
They were like, you should be fine.
What is it?
650.
That was my old one, right?
Yeah.
Sick.
It's your 650 gold.
Dude, that thing's a champ. I love EVGA with a passion.
I was trying
Too
to
bad
get...
you couldn't get an EVGA graphics card.
No, they only had this one.
I know.
Did I tell you the whole story on this thing? How I got it? So, they had it on a hold shelf.
You had extra, never mind, we're not gonna go there.
They had a ton of 3070s and 3080s, and only one 3060 Ti, even though their site showed they had 4.
Nice.
So I was like, hey, am I missing them? I'm like, what's wrong? And he goes, oh, hold on a second, let me go look. And he found this one on the hold shelf at the front. Someone else had already gotten dibs on it. And like, okay, let me go check and see how long it's been sitting there. So he comes back up 15 minutes later and goes, oh, it's been there for 45 minutes, it's yours, go take it. And I was like, okay.
Nice.
He gave me the claim sheet for it, and I ran up there and paid and left. Even though I wanted to walk around a bit more, but...
You had stuff to do.
Yeah, I was like, it's already late. I had to open the next day, so I was like, I'm just gonna get it and go.
Okay.
Oh, God, everywhere.
That's racist, or don't say that.
Okay.
I think it likes it when I blow on it open.
Oh. I just
I
forget.
don't want this thing to go flying across the freaking motherboard. That would swallow just a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's use that.
I'll just use the hard if I can get the cap off.
Is that the best one you have? want to do with this?
I wouldn't do that. There you go.
What do I want to do with
I
it?
want you to drop it.
No. We ain't LTT over here.
Racist.
What?
Against Canadians? Makes no sense.
They're not racist, it's a country. Oh, wow. What was that noise?
You know what that noise was.
I didn't hear the actual button. Oh, I've got it on my hand. I have a screwdriver for.
His daddy needs help. What are you doing? You gonna rinse it underneath the sink?
No. I'm trying to get this on my hand.
You wanna get this mint application of thermal paste on camera?
Hand free. What about this at?
You can set it on the table, I guess. Just don't get the paste on it. Easy. God!
I was trying.
Son?
Just don't even want my hands off them. Sorry, Tom.
I'm sure you said that plenty of times.
Okay.
You seen that video?
Yeah, I think so.
There you go. Ready? Oh, that's so hot. God, I wish I was at CPU. I hate myself.
This channel's more kid friendly.
It's not.
You wanna bet?
I'll show you a kid-friendly channel.
Sheesh.
Alright, what are we stuck on?
Everything.
Yeah.
This thing must be a step bro because it's stuck.
It was so interesting though, I hooked that graphics card up, not even being able to use 1440p or audio until I updated it. I was like, what in the world's wrong with this thing? Did I get a bad card? And I remember, I was like, my sound never works when I have a driver update. See how many frames are about to pick up. Probably all of them. I think it's like considerably faster boost clock too. Yeah, I would hope. It's 4 letters up. Or 4 letters. Wow.
Nice one.
What the bollocks?
This is about one of the most garbage mounting brackets I've ever seen in my life.
Let me hit my blue master stuff. No, the master's.
It's the A and D. It is. Why is that going?
Yeah. Alright, well, it's in. As you guys can see, Ryzen 9 5950X, 16 core, 3.4 gigahertz. We're going to be firing this up We're not doing any overclocking because I mean P450 motherboard is not a good combo for an overclock on this thing. So. Why are we stuck in the BIOS now?
It probably changed like everything. It said it reset the BIOS. That's fine.
Let me find,
this one.
Did it disable my drive?
No. No, that's hot plug where you can take it out while it's running.
Oh.
That's for server stuff.
Why are we doing this? Oh, we got another song.
God. Alright, what are we trying to find here? Maybe.
Conquer that.
Oh. Stop.
That's so dumb. Okay. Okay, how do I exit and save? Box.
Maybe up on the top right.
Oh,
There's
can
an
I
X.
click it? Oh, sick. No, because it's going to say the same thing.
There we go. Look at you go, mechanic.
I might do it again.
We got another song.
Is the change just that big? You're just going from a 6 to a 16?
Probably.
Oh, the wheel's excited.
Let's see.
What the heck?
Oh, can I click on that? That's probably not shit.
We got another song.
I guess probably should start Googling, shouldn't I? It's a good thing we didn't put the site.
No, did it, no. So what was the BIOS update for?
So we could run 5000 series CPUs.
Okay, so it's fine there.
My gosh.
That should be your hard drive.
Yeah, that's the 4 terabyte. Alright guys, one quick lunch break later and we're back, and let's talk about my first impressions of my new setup as well as some comparisons to previous ways this computer was set up. So, current setup now, for those who are new and did not see the first little bit of this video, is now a Ryzen 9 5950X and a RTX 3060 Ti. And I gotta say, it's incredible compared to what it was. My computer, I loved it as it was with the Ryzen 5 and the RX 580. But this new setup is just exactly what I wanted, and I now have access to DLSS. I've got access to NVENC, which is probably the thing that was most important to me. Is now I'm going to be able to record games a lot better. I think even if I didn't have NVENC, I think that I'd be a lot better off now recording with my with the 5950X alone. But having NVENC and having a really solid GPU is really going to help. For those who don't know, the 3060 Ti is comparable to the 2070 Super. That's why I wanted the 3060 Ti in particular, was because I wanted to be able to run Minecraft RTX relatively well, which I have tried out. The texture pack I was using is not great, so I'm going to have to find one that is better suited for Minecraft RTX. And then I haven't tried out ray tracing because I don't own a lot of games that have ray tracing capabilities. I think Doom Eternal is like one of the only games outside of Minecraft that I have that is compatible with RTX. So, I don't have a lot of games that utilize it, but I'm hoping in the future, as more games come out, ray tracing, especially now with ray tracing coming to consoles, like the PS5 and the Series X and S, I should be able to handle those. So, that's exciting, and hopefully more games will support it, such as Forza Horizon 5 coming out later this year. Of course, that's being a big one here. And of course, it's going to help a lot with emulation. I feel like a lot of games, even with the 6-core Ryzen, where I was struggling with, and now I'm not going to have that issue anymore with the 9. because this thing is going to be considerably more aggressive and a considerably more powerful computer. The thing that I feel like I'm going to see the biggest increase though is going to be NVIDIA productivity. I feel like that's one of very few things that actually make use of all 16 of those cores, and I think that my render times, even though they were already halved from the Mac Pro with the Ryzen 5, I'm going to see a further reduction in rendering time with my with the 5950X 3060 Ti combo, especially since I'll be able to use CUDA as instead of OpenGL, which I think is what it uses now. I may be wrong there. In terms of gaming performance, with the Ryzen 5 3600 and the RX 580, the games I can comparably talk about between the three setups, GTA for one, I was getting on average around 55 to 60 FPS if I was lucky on GTA. With the original Ryzen 5 and RX 580 setup, I would sometimes dip up into the 70s, but that was really about as high as I got, was about 75 FPS. With the 3060 Ti and the Ryzen 5, because I did run that setup for a day, literally not even a day, it was like 5 hours, if even that, and it did pretty solid. It bumped up to about 75 was the low end and about 80 was the high end, and then of course now with this setup, the highest point was 150. It was maxing out my monitor. My monitor's a 144 hertz, so it maxed out my monitor completely, and then on the low end is about 130, so even then it is still considerably higher than it was before on GTA, and that is max settings on GTA. So it is very, very, very intensive on the game. I believe the only thing we didn't have turned up was MSIA, which I just as a general rule keep off. I don't really see a point in it. It makes Forza act weird. I just don't like it as a general rule. I keep it off in games. So that's really the main game I can compare it all with. Minecraft RTX, I was still able to average close to 60 FPS, I believe, just based off of eyeballing it. I didn't have an actual FPS counter. And it looked really good, so I'm hoping that once I get a proper texture pack, I'll be able to experiment with it more, and we'll be able to really play the game in full power. The next thing I'm going to test out, though, I don't think it's going to be on camera. I'll put it on screen, my results with BeamNG. That is a game I do play quite a lot of now, and I have for a long time, but I want to play more of. And that's a game that is intensively CPU derivative. It's a lot of physics and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see how this setup will compare. The Ryzen 5, I was never hitting 60 FPS. I feel like I hit it every once in a while, but it was never a constant 60. So seeing this setup and how it demolished GTA, I'm curious to see how it'll do with BeamNG and Rocket League, because there's two games I pay a lot of attention to FPS on. I was getting about 110 with the Ryzen 5 and the RX 580 combo, so having the 3060 and the Ryzen 9 5950 should be quite a combo. But all in all, though, I really love the new setup. I'm really excited to get to try it out. I feel like I am pushing my power supply to its limits, but it'll be worth it in the end. I do think I will invest in an upgraded one at some point and use like a 1000 watt or something like that, overbuild it a little bit. Next up on my list of upgrades is going to be RAM as well as a solid state drive, because this is actually still running just spinning drives. So having solid states will be definitely an upgrade that's well needed. I intended on buying one. My rule was if I didn't buy the GPU, I was buying a solid state. If I bought the solid state, I wasn't getting a GPU, but they just happen to have a 3060 Ti and a good price. But anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed this video. If you're be sure to like, subscribe, more content coming soon on the Type R PC as well as gaming content. We'll be resuming our Let's Plays soon, and hopefully in better quality, as I'll be able to use NVENC as well as up the settings on this thing, because technically this is almost as powerful as a computer can get right now if you're running a Ryzen NVIDIA combo. Of course, if you're running a 3090 and a much more upgraded motherboard, then probably like an X570 something like that probably be better. But as it sits right now, this is probably one of the most powerful computers that I could really get right now that wasn't running a Threadripper or a Quadro or something like that. But anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day, guys.